Hey YouTubers, this is Dano. Hey, I wanted to share something with you. I know, prepping's part about saving money, so you can buy preps. This is what I do for my steaks. I'm spoiled. This is a whole beef tenderloin. Look at the price on this puppy. Hope that zooms in all right. $82.80. It's $11.88 a pound, and this is 6.97 pounds, so 7 pounds basically. And I'm going to cut her up and cook one for dinner. I'll show you how many steaks I get out of here and the value. This is probably the best steak you can get, period. So I'll get this out of the cryovac and dry it off and show you how I trim it. It's pretty easy. Thanks. Okay, I got her out of the cryovac. He's a big boy here. Whoa! A lot of nice meat. I'm going to cut this up. This is an old Cutco vegetable cleaver. I had this thing about 10 years. It's well used. Well used. I love it. It's one of my favorite knives in the kitchen. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and take off some of the large fat. Just go down here and cut a little bit of this off and just clean it up. There's not that much. There'll be some areas. You don't want to be too wasteful. But they are fillets, so very low in fat, so we're going to cut off most of the fat. So I'll get back to you on that. Okay, the other side, the first side didn't have much of it all, but much fat at all. But on this side, we've got the long tendon running in here, and then you get your chain attached here. You can leave that on or take it off. I usually take it off and use it for stew meat. I'll have to do a different video on that, but I want to get in here and cut this tendon. And I want to be attaching a bunch of meat to it. I just want to get most of it out of there, if not all of it. But there's a lot in there. Can't get it all, and you shouldn't try really. But to get a start on it, just come on down here. And it runs way down here, so I'm just getting most of it out. You don't want it all in there. If you cut your steaks and too much of it's on the side, your steak will curl up. You don't want that. So we're gonna get most. I'll clean this up a little bit more. And well, here we go to show you. Here is the chain. Go ahead and remove that. About back to here. That's all the further we need to go on that. Now I'm going to cut this up. This is really the most tender stuff you'll ever find right here. It just, oh, it's beautiful. I'll use this for stew. So clean it up. So I'll get back to you. Okay, I got her all cleaned up. That's about all you got to do. You don't have to go crazy, and it's up to your individual taste, but you don't have to go crazy. So let's cut her up. I'm going to cut this up. Start up here. That's going to go to stew. I cut up pieces about like this, average for stew meat. And I want some fat and stuff in those. So that'll go back there with that chain. Now I'm ready. I got it evened up, ready to start cutting some steaks. Oh, I got to sharpen my knife. But that'll be a nice small steak. Well, not small, but that's okay. It's not. And the first one's never perfect, but these start getting to look a little better. I like to cut them about. That's about 1.25 inches, because they're large. That's a lot of meat. There's no waste in this steak. There is no waste. You eat every bite. That's if you were talking a ribeye or something else, you'd have to have a steak this big to get that much meat off. That is pure, soft, tender. Oh, geez, look at that. That's good stuff. That's a nice steak. So I'll start cutting these bad boys up. Another big fat one. Another huge one. A little bit, getting a little marble in there. You don't need it on this tenderloin though. It's not like a ribeye. This is the most tender beef you'll ever cook. See, that's another nice one. When you start getting pieces like this, when you run down, you start getting down here. You'll have separations. That's the ones you want to wrap in bacon, So keep going. Smaller they get, the thicker I cut them normally. Start getting a little thicker down here toward the end. I'm not trying to get the most I can. I'm trying to get a good steak each time. I'm getting down here toward. It's getting a little smaller. That's still a nice. That's not no petite fillet. I think I'm going to get one more. Okay. That's still Even this is bigger than a petite fillet, but look at that. It just, oh man. And then I got that much more for stew meat to go with this chain. And that'll make two. I'll cut this up in smaller pieces. I'll have 2 batches, and that'll make me a big pot of beef and noodles, or some beef stew, or some boeuf bourguignon, you know, beef and burgundy. So I got basically 2, 4, 6, 8. I got 10 nice beef fillet steaks out of there. You know, filet mignon, if you want to call it. Filet mignon's really down here on the end, but you can't tell the difference. So 10 of them, plus 2 other big pot meals. So you're talking quite a bit of meals at $82 worth of beef. I mean, even at that, what is it? 10, you know, that's $8 a steak. You know, and that's kind of high. I used to be a little cheaper, but you can't buy that in your grocery store. This is a, you know, or you're talking Ruth Chris Steakhouse is a $50 steak. So these aren't just some cheapo cuts, you know. So that's how I do my steaks, and I'm spoiled. And I'm gonna, what I'll do is I'll just use some of these Ziploc baggies, and I'll freeze what I'm not gonna eat. I put 2 in a bag, and I just saw out 2 at a time to eat, and they don't really last that long in the freezer. So you guys have a good one, and I'm gonna tack on one that's cooked. Thanks. Messing with the camera. Okay, what I'm gonna do here, here's my steak, one I'm gonna cook for dinner. It's a pretty nice steak. Really pretty. I want it dry, and I want it room temperature. And I got some seasoning mix I mix up. And we're going to rub it all over. Do a little dry rub. You don't have to get too crazy with it. Well, yeah, you do. I want it all over. Oh yeah, that's nice. So this is going to go into a, since I'm not cooking outdoors in a barbecue or a Dakota pit or anything, this is going to go into a saucepan, a frying pan on the stove, about medium heat, and in butter. And then I'm going to throw in some garlic and into the butter, and some onions along the side. And just slow cook it. Don't want to rush it, because these things take a while to cook. You know, I like mine rare, you know, medium rare to rare. So, and it's the way you want to cook one of these steaks. You don't want one of these well done. You're getting the wrong kind of steak if you like well done. But I'll show you what she looks like when she's done. Okay. Set that right in there on that garlic. Just slow cook that puppy. It's gonna be good. Oh, it's gonna be good. Okay, here's the finished product. It should be pretty rare, which is the way I like them. But those onions got a really nice. Come on, focus. Those onions got a really nice char to them. Back out a little bit. But gotta have it with Engelhofer cream style horseradish. That's a must. I also like to mix it up a little. Like sometimes I'll eat it with some Slap Yo Mama hot sauce from BC Truck. Thanks, BC. I'll throw in some tiger sauce sometimes. This is a guacamole based hot sauce, Zashila. It with serranos in it. It's got a nice little bite. It's not that hot. Some people think it is, but I don't. This is great on burritos and stuff, but it's great with a steak. And then if I'm going to try any salsa, this is the Roberto's habanero salsa. It's from Fort Collins, extra hot. And this is the hottest out of all of them. It's made local in Fort Collins, and you'll break a sweat, but the flavor is so good. This is good on anything you want to put salsa on. You can probably get this online too. So let's cut her open and see what she looks like. Oh yeah, look at that. I'll zoom in on that. Come on. focus on this camera is weird. Anyway, this is good steak. Maybe I should do a contest and ship a couple of these steaks out to somebody. What do you think? Let me know. Thanks. Have a good one and enjoy.